Hey guys, so I'm doing another face of the day. Oh, where am I looking? I have my tablet kind of weird, because it's on the charger. But anyway, I just wanted to do a quick face of the day today because I'm made up. So where am I looking? Yeah, okay. There's a piece of glass covering the opening for, or the little hole for the camera, and it's really hard because I want to look at myself, not, you know what I mean, but this way, I don't know where I'm looking. Anyway, enough of that. So because I made up today, I figured I would just show you guys and kind of explain what I used and how I used it and what I used it with, because it's like a soft cut crease. It's not really harsh cut crease or anything like that, but it's using brown and a yellowy orange. So I figured it was something that you could wear for this time of the year, like summer going into fall. It works both ways. It kind of looks like, let's see, like that. With I kind of wanted it to look like a bumblebee, because I was looking at the bumblebees we have in our garden, and they don't have they're not real black. They're just a really dark brown and this orangey kind of yellow. So I was like, man, that gives me the perfect excuse to pull out my my MAC shadows. Well, just these ones, and I thought it would look nice with a really thin, sharp kind of wing liner to kind of look like the stinger a little bit. So I'm gonna explain it step by step because, like I said before, I'm having problems with the editing and I just don't know when that's gonna happen. I super apologize. I really want to get those tutorials up for you guys, but I don't know when the hell I'm ever gonna figure out a situation for that. But so I figured the best that I could do for now is just to explain things and kind of maybe briefly kind of show you how I applied it. So the first thing, of course, that I did was put my foundation on. I even if I don't wear any other makeup on my face at all, I have to have my foundation on just because I have really bad blemishes on my skin. It's not so much the texture of my skin, it's more so that the discoloration spots and stuff. So I have to have that on. So I started with that. And then I didn't set it with any powder, which is weird because summer and it's really hot around here, you would kind of think to, but I feel like this is such a full coverage, or this is a full coverage, medium to full coverage foundation anyways. I don't want to look cakey when when the oils in my face naturally come out and mix with the powders. It just doesn't look good. It looks cakey. So I just blot with a tissue, and that seems to do the job. And then for the usual highlighting that I do, I always use MAC Shroom. It's like my favorite highlighter. It kind of reminds me of Benefit's Moonbeam. Is it Moonbeam or High Beam? I think it's Moonbeam. Moonbeam looks a little bit better on darker complexions because it's not super silvery looking. So I use MAC Shroom, and I use this brush here. It's like a short little whatever. You can use it for powder, you can use it blush, contour, whatever, but it's just one of these guys. And I get in here and I always just do the high points of my face. So that would be like a little bit on top of my forehead, right down the center, the bridge of my nose, on the tip of my nose right here, on the high points of my cheeks, in like an L shape, kind of like a sideways L. So I go up around here and then down. And what that does is it brings the light to your face right here, and it kind of, on top of giving you a glow, it just kind of makes you look really refreshed, kind of, and like awake and just, I don't know, fresh. We all want to look fresh in summer, right? I was gonna say that if you have oily skin, like really oily skin, I probably would want to skip the highlighting, because that kind of look can make you look oily. If you already have oily skin, I have oily skin and I do it anyway, so you don't have to take it from me, because I mean, I bend the rules, you know, if I really feel like doing it. So, and I always do that, and I don't really have too much of a problem. So, also I take that onto the Cupid's bow, which is right, this little, you know, dip right here, and then right here on the ball of my chin. I've already explained this to you guys before. I've already told you guys, I think, how I highlight and where I highlight. So I don't know if I'm going to be continuing to explain that later. So after that, I don't go on to blush yet. The first thing that I did was go in with my MAC Painterly Paint Pot, which is an eyeshadow base or eyeshadow primer. This is like a base and primer. I'll have to make a video on the difference between the two, because there's hardly a difference, but basically what an eyeshadow primer or base does is it creates an even, like, sticky kind of layer for your eyeshadow to adhere to, so that it doesn't crease throughout the day, which we all know is a pain in the asshole. So it prevents creasing, and it keeps your eyeshadow on all day, or almost all day. Particularly with paint pots, they're like water resistant, so I could probably go swimming in this and it wouldn't come off. What else was I going to say about it? Oh, also, if you are wondering why your eyeshadows go on patchy or like just really sheer and they don't look really vibrant because they're like see-through, eyeshadow primers and bases can fix that for you, because like I said, it creates a nice sticky base so you can like pack on the color. So that's what I started out with, from lid to brow. And then I went in with my eyebrow pencil, which is a blonde, believe it or not. I use a blonde, and then I set my eyebrows. I actually put waterproof mascara over top of that, because if you guys ever filled in your eyebrows before, you know that sometimes your hairs can like lay flat when you do it. I don't know, it just looks like it's painted on. So what I do is I take just like a really crappy waterproof mascara, and I just kind of like lift the hairs back up, and also this creates like texture on the brow, so it doesn't look so unnatural, and it also grooms my eyebrows at the same time. So that's what I did. And then for the eyes, I started off first with my highlight, the MAC Shroom. I use that as my eye highlights today. I wanted to start off with that first because I knew that I was going to be doing a cut crease, and I didn't want to blend the dark too far up. So in order to get a good fade effect, or like a good gradient effect, I started off with putting with this kind of a brush here, any kind of big fluffy brush, whatever's going to get the color on there for you. You don't have to be too technical with this. I just got some on there, and I started underneath my arch, and I swept downwards, just with whatever's left on the brush, just kind of lightly swept that along. So I always start with the most intensity right under my brow, and then I just fade it either which way. And then, what did I do? Oh, so I started off with that. And then what I wanted to do was, before I put on my yellow or my lid color, I wanted to put my darker crease color first, because I was afraid that if I put on my lid color, if I went up too high up or too far out, that the brown wouldn't be as intense as I wanted it to be. So I first started off with Max Embark, which is just a really super dark brown. That's upside down. Why am I showing you upside down? Embark. And It's a really nice brown. What? Oh, I used a crease brush like this, like a pencil crease brush. And I got in there, and what I first did was started out on the outer corner, like in the very outer corners of my eye. And then I did them both at the same time so I could pay attention to the symmetry. So I did my crease work first because I wanted that to be really dark. I wanted to make sure that that stood out, like that it was dark. So I started with my crease work first, and to get the edge straight, I just used a little cardboard thing. This is from my floss stuff. So I used the edge and I lined it up with my lower lash line. That way you get the perfect angle every time. I see a lot of times, and I mean, it's your bag, you know, you do whatever you think looks nice, but typically if you follow the shape of your eye, your natural shape of your eye, it's the most flattering look. So for any kind of wing liner, I always follow the bottom lash line. You want to line it up as if your bottom lash line just extended. So I lined it up like that, and then I put the brown, you know, this way, and I blended it forward, and that gave me a good guideline. So it's tapered out a little bit, or a lot of bit, kind of. And then after I did the brown, I just kind of like focused on placing the brown, just so that I knew that it was covered with the dark already, so that I could go in and put goldenrod on. This is MAC's goldenrod, which is more of like an orange yellow than it is like a yellow yellow. It's not orange or yellow, it's orangey yellow. Yeah, here, let me show you goldenrod satin finish. So I went in with this one on a little flat brush, like, you know, one to, where is it? Okay, don't tell me I'm not going to find it. Anyway, I went in with a flat, stiff brush. Come on, I really want to find it. Why can't I just find it? Oh, here it is. Sorry. It's hard to find when it's this little. So I used this guy. You can see how it's real stiff and dense. So, because I wanted this color really opaque, I packed it on the brush, tapped off a little bit of the excess. Because I already had my face on, I used this as kind of like an eyeshadow guard, and I kind of looked downwards as I did it, and I packed it on like this. Pat, 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 pat. Instead of sweeping, because when you sweep, it'll give you more of a sheer layer than it does like a full-on, I wanted my eyeshadow to look like this. So that's why you pack it on. And so I kind of just, you know, did a little bit on each eye to make sure, like I said, the symmetry. And then I went in and perfected the crease work with this. And then once I perfected the crease work, which when I mean perfected, I mean I really packed on the color inside of my socket hollow. You can tell. And then I went in with a fluffier crease brush like this. Excuse me, I'm like burping galore today. And I just get like a tiny bit on the brush and just kind of windshield wiper motionly blended it out, just so that the line wasn't so harsh. If you guys feel like you have a hard time blending out, or you don't feel like you have that much control when you're blending out, try holding the brush from further back, and you won't have such a heavy hand. And sometimes you want to just barely touch it and blend it out. For this particular look, I didn't want the color to go too far up. I wanted it to stay pretty, like, local. So, and then if you do go too far up, you can always take whatever brush you used for your highlight and with whatever's left on it, you can just blend it downwards a little bit. So that's another little tip. I'm extremely sorry. This is already 15 minutes long, but then for my cheeks, I just went in with my typical pink cheek glow mosaic and put that on the outer edges, outer bones of my cheeks. And on the very outer of that, just right here, I just wanted a little bit of a golden peachy glow. So I used Apricotta by Maybelline. It has a golden, pinky, peachy, golden peach, pink, something. And then I think all that I did was put mascara on. Oh, I used white eyeliner in my waterline. And then for the inner corner highlight, I just used MAC Shroom as well. And for the lips, nothing serious. I just used a mixture of this 903C. It's a nude color by, I think, Wet n Wild? Wet n Wild? Something. Yeah, Wet n Wild. Yeah. So it's like a really nudie pink. And then I put gold on top of it. This is a really sheer gold. It's just, it's barely gold. So, and then I figured it would go good with my flower too. So, and the colors match. So, anyways, before this video gets any more ridiculously long, can't speak today. I'm just gonna let you guys go. Hopefully I explained it good enough for you guys to try out on your own. I keep on forgetting stuff. I just used a regular liquid eyeliner with a brush tip to make the wing. It's extremely thin. I wanted it super pointy. Like I said, I wanted it to look like a stinger, so that's my face today. I wanted to share that with you guys. So if you like, thumbs up, comment down below. Let me know what you guys want to see or hear or blah, blah, blah. And I will be talking at you guys later.